Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to begin today with another riddle. How can I drink some water from a sheet of paper? Seems impossible, doesn't it? Well, if you know a little bit of origami, which is the Japanese paper folding techniques, you can indeed drink from a sheet of paper. And I'm going to show you how today. It also makes a really awesome water bomb. So if you're not thirsty, you can always chuck it at your dad or your mum or something. But don't tell them I told you to do that. So we need to begin with a square piece of paper. And as you probably have at home, you probably have A4 paper or A3 paper, which is a rectangle shape. So the first step to doing this little trick is to create a squared piece of paper from a rectangle. And the way we do this is to fold a corner. So I'm going to take this corner here and I'm going to fold it up so that this edge here meets this edge perfectly. So just watch what my hands are doing as I do this. I'm keeping that paper flat. I'm pulling it out until I'm happy that I've run along this edge nicely. So we end up with this, and you'll notice that this edge meets this edge nicely. The next thing we need to do is cut off the excess paper down this line. So you'll need a pair of scissors for this, and I think I'll do it this way. We need to carefully cut along this line. Okay, we've now got a triangle and a rectangle. Now this rectangle we don't need anymore, so you can put that to one side. And when we open this triangle out, you'll see we now have a square piece of paper. And Japanese origami uses squared paper most often. So if you ever buy an origami set in a shop, they will give you some squared paper. But we can make our own at home using this technique. So now we've got a square, we can begin to create our water bomb or our drinking cup, depending on how you want to use this. So I've already got a fold down here, so I'm just going to make sure that fold is nice and tight. And I'm going to fold again in the opposite direction, diagonally. So I've got two diagonal folds now. And you can see that cross shape in the middle there. I'm now going to fold it in half twice from straight edge to straight edge. So this whole edge at the bottom here is going to fold up to meet the straight edge at the top. And I'm going to fold it the other way as well, from straight edge to straight edge this way. Now I've got a star-shaped set of folds in the middle of the paper. I'll flip it over so you can see. Okay? Now before we do our next move, which is quite tricky, we need to, what I call, exercise these folds. And by exercise, I just mean we're going to fold them both ways, back and forth, to make sure they're nice and good folds. So I'm just folding the fold and then folding it the other way down the same line. Okay, and do the diagonal ones as well. So I've kind of refolded all of those again to make sure they're nice and easy to move. And then the next move is quite tricky. It's a nice move though. I'm going to show it to you. So have your paper in a diamond shape like I've got here, with a corner pointing down. And then I want you to pinch gently here and here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my fingers up until I've created a star shape like that. Just going to show you that one more time. So I've got my flat piece of paper there. I'm going to pinch here and here to bring these folds up. And you'll notice that this fold and this fold also wants to do the same thing. So let that happen. You can now pinch the paper together to form this kind of cross shape here. Okay, I'm going to bring these corners in like this. So we've got a triangle now with some foldy bits inside. That's quite a nice view. You can see what's going on there. I'm going to flatten that down. The next step is going to be to fold up this edge here to the top. Fold it up to the top. And this one here up to the top. Flip your paper over and do exactly the same thing on the other side. This edge here is going to fold up to the top. And this edge here. So we've got a diamondy shape now. The next step is to fold these corners inwards. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to fold this one up to meet the line. And I'm going to fold, I'll give you a slightly better view there, and I'm going to fold this one up as well to meet this one. Okay, same on the other side. Fold this one up to touch the line and fold this one down to touch the line to meet its friend on the other side there. Okay, so we've got this on both sides now. The last step is a bit fiddly, so I'm going to show it to you very slowly. One of these has got some loose flaps. One of these edges has got some loose flaps at the top and the other one doesn't. You won't be able to move that flap there. So we're going to work from this one here where the flaps are a bit looser. So let's zoom in a bit. This flap here is going to fold down like that. And this flap here is also going to fold down. Okay, same on the other side. This flap here is going to fold down. And this flap here is going to fold down. And the last move we're going to do is quite a tricky one, but it's quite good. We're going to tuck the flaps into this little pocket part here. So get your finger in there and open the pocket up, and then with this flap, just fold it over and push it in with your finger like this. Push it in there as far as you can, and then give it a flatten. Okay, let me show you that again. Find the little pocket, get your finger in there, and push the flap in. Flatten it down. We need to do the same on the other side. Okay, we've finished our water bomb or our water container. Doesn't look like much yet, does it? We need to inflate it, so I'm going to show you what to do. At one end, there isn't a hole. At the other end, there's a small little hole you can see sort of inside. Now, to make this bit a little bit easier, you can always widen that hole with something. Okay, just push something in there, or you can snip off the very, very, very top tiny bit. Only a tiny bit, though. And I've created a hole now. You need to, like you're blowing out birthday candles. Not bad, eh? So there you can see the hole that we blew through and a fully inflated paper container. Now I'm going to put some water in this and have a try. Okay, so I've run the tap, so I've got a very small stream of water, and as best I can, I'm going to try to get the stream in the hole. Here we go. There you go. So, my paper cup is now full of water. Yes, it's dripping a little bit, but I can still have a drink from it. Should we have a try? Man, I'm so thirsty. Let's give this a try here. Okay, not the best cup. Well, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. I am soaking wet now, but there was another use for this, wasn't there? And that was a water bomb. So I'm gonna fill it up with water again, and we'll see what happens when you chuck it at somebody. That was much more fun than drinking from it. You know what we need to do now. We've got to make a bigger one. So the thing I noticed is that the paper was quite thin, and so it went soggy quite quickly. So I'm going to use some A3 paper, but I'm going to use some thicker stuff, and hopefully it's going to hold together, because this water bomb is going to hold even more water. So it needs to be quite strong, I think. If you haven't got any thick paper, you could maybe use 2 pieces of paper together and just fold them together or glue them together to begin with. So I'm going to try it with an A3 piece now and see what happens. So this is my bigger one, made of A3 paper. I'm going to find the end with a hole. I'm just going to snip just the tiny little edge off there to make a hole big enough for me to blow into. Okay, should we give it a try? Amazing, I love this. You can make paper lanterns out of these if you put a fairy light or something in. It would make an amazing paper lantern. Now this one's quite thick, so I'm going to fill it with water and chuck it for you. So there you have it, Burrington, how you can have a drink using just a sheet of paper, or just chuck it at someone. Hope you have fun.